17-year-old Quinn is in the car with her dad, Brooke, as they travel to a town called Kettle Springs. It's clear that Quinn isn't excited to live there after her mom's death. This is a stark contrast to her dad, Brooke, who's an optimistic doctor. They arrive at the house. Quinn is surprised by its old look. Her dad enters and a really bad smell fills the air from the chimney. Quinn grabs the poker, gets close, and suddenly a dog's corpse comes tumbling out. Right away, Brooke gets rid of the corpse. Later, we see Quinn in her room looking out the window at the burned factory on the other side. The next day, Quinn gets ready for school. She goes downstairs to say goodbye to her dad. When she opens the door, a guy appears, startling her. He introduces himself as Russell, their neighbor, and he's come to get to know them. Her dad, Brooke, asks him to drive Quinn to school. He's clearly a decent guy, and Brooke wants his daughter to have a friend. Russell takes Quinn with him on his way to school. He talks to her, advising her to be careful about the people she hangs out with. But Quinn doesn't care about his advice. She leaves him and heads inside. In the classroom, we see a group of students. They've pulled a prank on the teacher, superimposing his face onto a picture of a guy with muscles. The teacher gets annoyed and issues a warning. No punishment for anyone who laughs. And of course, Quinn is among them. After class, the group of teens talk with Quinn and get to know her. A girl named Janet speaks to her, introducing her to the group members, her friends Ronnie, Tucker, and Matt. Cole then talks to her, telling her that his dad is the mayor of the town and the mastermind behind the corn festival happening tomorrow. They reveal that the main character of the festival is a fictional clown named Frendo. They tell her they create prank videos about Frendo as if he's real and kills people. These videos get incredibly high view counts. They even offer Quinn the chance to join them in filming. After school, Quinn sits with her dad at a restaurant for lunch. Her dad, Brooke, is surprised she got a warning on her first day. He asks her to be very careful and not act like the rowdy students. Just then, a police officer named Dunn enters the restaurant. He gets to know Brooke, recognizing him as the new doctor in town. At the same time, he notices the group of students walking past the restaurant. He advises Quinn not to hang out with that group, warning her that their reputation isn't good and they cause a lot of trouble. Quinn tells him she will. She leaves them and goes out to buy something from the supermarket. She meets the group of teens outside, and they all go to the supermarket together. They want to buy alcohol, even though they're underage. The seller gets nervous as soon as he sees them come in. He knows they're trouble. To distract him so they can steal the alcoholic beverages, Tucker pretends he's fighting with Matt. This allows them to trick him and steal the drinks without him noticing. At night, they drink and hang out together. Quinn is curious about the burned factory across from her house. Cole tells her that the factory belonged to his father. They snuck inside last year to film a prank, but suddenly a fire broke out. He insists it wasn't their fault. Cole doesn't elaborate further. Quinn notices they don't want to discuss the topic at all. Suddenly, while they're sitting, Tucker appears, pretending to be injured and bleeding. But then, from behind him, the clown appears. Quinn gets scared. Before she can run, they tell her it's just a prank and they're filming a video, so she calms down. After that, Quinn talks with Cole alone. She tells him her mom died from an overdose, and that's why her dad decided to bring her to this town to work as a doctor. Cole also shares that his sister died last year in an accident, though he doesn't specify the type. After their talk, Cole drives her home in his car. They get close, but suddenly, Brooke appears. He gets very annoyed with Cole and warns him not to get close to his daughter again. Inside the house, a verbal argument erupts between Brooke and his daughter Quinn. Quinn tells him she didn't ask him to bring her to an isolated town like this, and she'll do what she wants to endure life there. She goes up to her room, crying. After a while, she's watching and enjoying the video they filmed, but suddenly she stops the video, zooms in, and sees a clown in the background. She's a little surprised and sends the picture to their group chat. At that time, Matt is at his house and sees this picture, but he doesn't pay attention to it. Just then, he sees a person in a clown costume entering his house on the security camera. He thinks it's his friend Tucker pulling a prank. He comes out of his room looking for him, calling out and telling him to stop messing around. He goes into the other room, opens the closet, and finds a small clown toy, a music box. Suddenly, the clown appears from behind him and finishes him off. The next day is the corn festival. We see Arthur, Cole's dad and the town's mayor, giving a speech to the townspeople. He asserts that he'll always preserve traditions and customs and that nothing will affect them, despite the bad habits of the new generation's youth. The procession begins amidst the celebrations. We see Quinn talking with the group, asking if they saw the picture she sent yesterday, but they don't seem to care. While the procession is passing, a juggler appears, moving on a unicycle and playing with fireworks, but the fireworks fall on the corn, causing a fire. The festival is ruined. Mayor Arthur is furious. At the same time, Officer Dunn sees them and thinks they're involved in what happened. He takes them all and puts them in a cell. There's another prisoner with them who talks strangely, warning them about the clown Frendo. After some time, the officer comes and lets them out. As soon as Quinn gets out of the police station, she finds her dad waiting for her. He blames her for spending her time with that group of teens and decides to punish her by making her not leave the house for several days. He drives her back home. On that same day, we go to Tucker, who's working out and lifting weights. He finds the small clown toy. Of course, he also thinks his friend Matt is pulling a prank and filming him. So he calls out to him, telling him to stop messing around. He continues what he's doing, but the clown appears, carrying a chainsaw, and kills him. At night, we see Quinn in her room. She gets a message from Cole, telling her to come out and join him. So Quinn sneaks out of her room, leaving without her dad knowing. She goes with them in the car, feeling like she's on an adventure and loving it. Suddenly, a person appears on the road, carrying a deer he hunted. Cole stops the car quickly, and it turns out this person is Russell. He talks with Cole, and we notice that Cole doesn't want to talk much with him, even though they used to be friends. Russell tells them to take care of themselves. Cole thanks him and continues driving. He takes Quinn with him to a party in a cabin the teens made. They ask each other about their friends, Matt and Tucker, since they're not answering their messages. They guess they're pulling a prank as usual, so they don't expect anything bad has happened to them. After that, they start dancing and enjoying themselves. Quinn takes Cole by the hand. While they're together, Cole tells her he doesn't want them to rush their relationship. Quinn gets annoyed, thinking he's not interested in her, and she goes back to the party, feeling disappointed. At that time, Janet and Ronnie approach her, provoking her by saying that Cole is just messing with her like others. Quinn gets angry and pushes Janet, but at that moment, they hear a scream and see a girl coming out of the cornfield, falling dead. Of course, they all think she's acting, but then Matt's severed head is thrown at them from the field. Janet thinks it's a fake head, and they throw it at each other, joking around. But Quinn tells them the girl on the ground isn't breathing. She's dead. At that point, they start to get scared and get even more terrified when the clown Frendo appears in the field. They immediately run from him. He's holding a crossbow and shooting arrows at them, so they all try to escape. At this moment, Russell appears with a rifle, aims it at the clown, and shoots him. They don't know why this clown attacked them, and there's no signal to call for help. Moments later, they're stunned as more than one clown comes out of the cornfield. It's not just one clown, so they run quickly to the warehouse and lock the door. At that time, Brooke decides to go into his daughter's room to talk to her and apologize, but he discovers she's not there. She had put a pillow on the bed. He's annoyed that she tricked him and went out behind his back. We go back to Quinn and the group inside the warehouse. They've locked themselves in, hearing the sound of the clowns outside banging on the door, wanting to get in. They can't find a way to escape. They're trapped. By chance, they discover an underground passage that leads them to a sewer canal, so they're forced to go down into it to escape from the crazy clowns. At the same time, we go to Brooke. He's looking for Quinn in his car and passes by the police station. He gets out and goes in, finding the lights off. Just then, a clown appears from behind him with a knife, threatens him, and forces him to go with him to the other clown who's been shot. He orders Brooke to treat him immediately since he's a doctor, so Brooke is forced to comply and starts the surgical operation. At that time, the teens are in the sewage canal. Just before he goes down after them, Russell lights gasoline so that the place explodes on the clowns when they enter. Indeed, as soon as they break the door, the place explodes. The group is able to get out of the sewer to the other side. Cole is worried about Russell because he didn't come out after them, but they have to move quickly and escape. They pass through the cornfield and emerge onto a road. They stop a car, flagging it down, and it turns out to be Officer Dunn's car. But he gets out of the car and orders them to raise their hands, refusing to listen to their pleas. He takes Cole and arrests him, putting Cole in the car and driving off, leaving the three of them alone. Janet then suggests they go to the neighboring house, the Tillerson families, to ask for help. So they quickly head there, entering the cornfield again, sneaking in, scared they'll make a sound and the clowns will hear them. But suddenly, they hear the sound of a chainsaw and find the clown behind them. They run from him and the clown chases them like crazy. Another clown appears in front of them, holding a hammer, so they change direction and keep running. Okla! After that, they hide among the corn without making a sound. Of course, they're at the peak of terror as they see the clown passing by and looking for them. Ronnie is terrified, so Janet puts her hand over her mouth to silence her. But Janet can't hold it either and cries, so Quinn puts her hand over her mouth and silences her. The surprise? The clown appears right next to her without her noticing, and he also puts his hand over her mouth, just like them. Quinn gets startled and hits him, and they run from him quickly. But the clown with the chainsaw appears in front of Ronnie and finishes her off. The other two run and reach the house. They go inside and find a clown sitting on a chair, not moving. They don't know if he's alive or dead, so they get close to him, thinking he's dead because he's motionless. At that time, they hear the sound of the telephone, so they go up to the upper floor to answer it. But the telephone has no dial tone. They notice pictures hung from newspapers of the accidents and crimes that happened in the town throughout the past years. Janet also notices the small clown toy, making them feel that this house is dangerous. They go down to the ground floor, and they're surprised by the clown holding a pitchfork, hitting Janet with it, and lifting her body to the ceiling. At this moment, Quinn takes the vase and hits him with it. She tries to remove the pitchfork from Janet's body while she's in pain. The clown pulls her at that moment and attacks her, so she hits him quickly, and the clown falls next to Janet, and both of them die together. We go back to Brooke. He's performing surgery on the clown. He pretends that the injured clown needs resuscitation because his heart stopped. He asks the other one to hold the defibrillator and help him. The clown listens, and quickly, Brooke stabs him in the neck with a knee knife. He then hears on the walkie-talkie the other clowns telling each other that they're going to the abandoned factory and that they're chasing a girl named Quinn. So Brooke decides to go after her. As for Quinn at that time, we see her getting into a parked car. But this car's driving system is manual, not automatic, and she doesn't know how to start it. She sees the clowns appearing and getting close. The clown breaks the glass and pulls her out of the car, and they take her inside the burned factory. One of the clowns approaches her and takes off his mask, and it turns out that he's Officer Dunn. The other three clowns are the supermarket seller, the teacher, and Cole's mom. Quinn is confused and asks them why they're doing this. At that time, the clown in charge appears, and it turns out that he's Arthur, the town's mayor. Quinn asks him why he's doing this, so Arthur begins to explain to her that they don't like strangers in the town, and they have to preserve their traditions and not allow any stranger to be among them. That's why every time a stranger enters the town, they must kill them. He continues, telling her that he hates her and hates her entire generation of youth, considering them all like a disease that they must get rid of. He then shocks her by showing her his son Cole, hanging by a rope. Quinn is horrified and asks him how he could do this to his own son. Arthur tells her that Cole's son caused his sister's death in the factory fire. He had caused that factory fire in a planned way to get insurance money, but his son and the group of teens with him went there to film some videos. And of course, at that time, he had taken his sister with him. And at that time, his sister died in the fire. He tells her he will finish her off, and after that, he will finish off his son Cole and make it appear as if Cole killed her and then harmed himself. At that time, Cole yells at his dad, telling him that the world has changed and his ideas are no longer relevant. Arthur mocks him and orders Officer Dunn to finish off Quinn. So Dunn approaches her and aims the rifle at her. But at this moment, Brooke crashes his car into the factory, saving his daughter Quinn and also saving Cole. Brooke gets out of the car and hits one of the clowns, but he gets injured. He tells his daughter Quinn to run quickly. Quinn is able to move and run, and Officer Dunn goes after her to catch her. She goes into a room and locks herself in. She finds clown costumes in this room. After a while, Dunn enters the room, but Quinn is hidden. He looks for her, but doesn't find her, and suddenly, Quinn appears from behind him, disguised in a clown costume, and finishes him off with an electric shock. As for Arthur, he moves in the car to kill Cole, but at this moment, Russell appears and aims the rifle at the rope and cuts it. This way, he's able to save his old friend Cole. Quinn comes out and hugs her dad and supports him. They move together to get out of the factory. At that time, they find a car, so they get in it quickly. Quinn gets annoyed when she finds the car's system manual, not automatic, but her dad Brooke insists that she drive the car herself and teaches her how to start it. And indeed, Quinn is able to move the car and drive it, and they get out of the factory with the sunrise. After a long time, we see Quinn coming out of the house and going to school. Her dad comes out after her, and we learn from her conversation with him that he nominated himself for the position of mayor. At that time, Cole comes with Russell to say hi to her, and Quinn gets into the car, which has a manual system, but she already knows how to drive. After a while, she finds the clown toy with her in the car, so she picks it up and throws it out of the car, and the film ends.
If you're vibing with the video, make sure to slam that like and spill your opinions and comments. I'm hyped to read them. And yo, gotta subscribe so you catch all the straight fire recaps coming soon.